Hello, I'm Bob Keel. I was an advanced driver in the police and now I'm an observer for the Institute of Advanced Motorists. I want to explain the system of car control. What is it? Well, it's a system or a drill, each feature of which is considered in sequence on the approach to any hazard. There are 5 phases. The first phase is information, and this means taking in all the information available to you. You look into the distance to see as far as you can and what's going on. It also means using your mirrors to know what's going on behind you at all times. The next phase is your position. As an advanced driver, you will always be in the correct position because that gives you the best view of any hazard. Once you've got that position, then you have to consider your speed. You adjust your speed by coming off the accelerator slightly or using your brake. But you must make the decision, what speed do I need for this hazard? And then, once you've reached that speed, you have to decide which gear will best suit driving through the hazard. And lastly, gentle acceleration through or round the hazard. This is often referred to as IPSGA, information, position, speed, gear, and then acceleration.
Let's have a look at some other things.
When getting into a car, it's always worth doing a cockpit check. It could be a car that you're not used to or one that's used by a few people. My seat's adjusted and the back's okay. Looking in the mirrors, they're all adjusted nicely. I can see down the offside, down the near side and the interior. I'll just check to make sure the car's in neutral, give the gear stick a waggle and the handbrake is on. The steering wheel is okay, I can see all the dials. Turn on lots of lights. A few have gone out, turn to the next stage and the engine starts. All the important ones have gone out, just usually the handbrake light is on there. Seat belts. All the doors are shut, we're all okay to go. First gear, check the mirrors, handbrake, and we're off. Another good habit to get into is a moving brake check. This means you just get the car going up to about 10-15 miles an hour and gently apply the brakes. Let's try. Into first gear and we're away. The car's just moving now. Check the mirrors, nothing behind me. Apply a gentle check of the brakes.
Now we'll put the system into practice for a left turn.
I'm taking in all the information available, checking my mirrors. There's one vehicle coming up behind me. I can see the junction up ahead and there's also one vehicle approaching. For that reason I shall indicate now. Taking up position slightly to the centre of the road, bringing my speed down. There's the speed for the junction. I take the second gear, using the pull-push method, steer round. Applying gentle acceleration until I'm in a straight line, accelerating up into third.
Look at it again from the outside.
I can see the junction up ahead and there's also one vehicle approaching. For that reason I shall indicate now. Taking up position slightly to the centre of the road, bringing my speed down. There's the speed for the junction. I take the second gear, using the pull-push method, steer round. Applying gentle acceleration until I'm in a straight line, accelerating up into third. We use the 10 to 2 or quarter to 3 position on the steering wheel, as this gives the best control at all times. We also use the pull-push method, and I'll show you as we go around this bend. Pull down on the steering wheel and push to the centre. The car is under control at all times. When using the system, we avoid overlapping, that is braking and changing gear at the same time. When using the brake, we finish our braking and then we change gear. It's often not necessary to go down through the gearbox, but you can go from a higher gear to a much lower gear, and we call this block changing. In this case, I'm taking the car from fourth straight way down into second gear.
This time, the system is used for a right turn.
Information available. There's one car parked on the offside, and one oncoming. Checking my mirrors, there's one car behind. For his benefit, I should indicate. Taking up a position slightly to the centre of the road, I'm now bringing my speed down. Looking into the junction, which at the moment is clear, bring my speed down, I've got my gear. Using the pull-push method, turn around. Accelerating gently away, up into third gear.
Again, as it appears from the outside.
Taking in all the information available. There's one car parked on the offside and one oncoming. Checking my mirrors, there's one car behind. For his benefit, I should indicate. Taking up a position slightly to the centre of the road, I'm now bringing my speed down. Looking into the junction, which at the moment is clear, bring my speed down, I've got my gear. Using the pull-push method, turn around. Accelerating gently away, up into third gear. The system of car control requires you to consider each phase in sequence. This means just doing one thing at a time. You do your braking, finish your braking, and then you select your gear. IPSGA, information, position, speed, gear, and then acceleration.
I'm Darren Bubb, an observer with the Institute of Advanced Motorists. I'm going to demonstrate how to apply the system of car control in an automatic vehicle. The application of the system of car control is as important in an automatic car as it is in a manual, in that you need to be in the right position, at the right speed, with the right gear engaged prior to the hazard. Selecting the drive mode, in this instance in the rotary dial, the car will automatically select the gear prior to the hazard. However, to do this, you need a little positive pressure on the accelerator prior to the hazard to enforce the gear change. What you don't want to be doing is going into a hazard and then applying pressure on the accelerator such that it changes gear in the corner. In addition, with most automatics, you have a manual override, in this instance with flappy paddles, that you can select the gear. Again, ensure that you manually select the gear before the hazard. You might apply this, by example, prior to a series of bends. In addition to an automatic with a rotary gear selector, we also have an automatic with a more traditional manual gear stick. From drive, you can select the manual override by moving the gear stick over to the left and then selecting higher or lower gears by moving the gear stick forwards and backwards.
My name's David Hill. I'm an observer with the IAM, and we're going to have a look at this vehicle, which has a constantly variable transmission, commonly known as CVT. The CVT automatic box is very similar in a lot of ways to a normal auto. It has the usual park position, the reverse, neutral, drive, and in most cases, this one, a sport. It has the added facility in that you can select and use the gears triptronically, i.e. as a manual. In its simplest form, with the car driven in drive, the constantly variable transmission will adjust continually, unlike normal autos where you'll feel it change. Whilst driving in the drive mode, the gearbox, using a program called Dynamic Gear Control Program, measures your style. So if you're driving economically with the light foot, it will give you the appropriate gear ratio. If on the other hand you're getting a move on, you need more sport, it will adjust. So it automatically adjusts to your style.